Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ready Steady Play. I hope the audio is okay. Let me know if there's any issues here. How's everybody doing today on Thursday? I know what day it is. Hey Difter, Haggers, hey to Layla and Lucard and everybody in chat. Thanks for hanging out and coming to play Cartaventura. This is a game that actually I saw came out while we were at Essen this year, and I meant to stop and check it out. I didn't get to check it out. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's a tiny little box game. I don't actually have the box. Don't ask why. But the point is, this is the whole game right here. It doesn't even come with a rule book. It's so small. The whole game is this, and it teaches you from the get-go. So we're literally going to put it through its paces and see if it can keep up to its promise, which is to teach us the game, and then we can just start playing. But it's supposed to be about an hour long. It says here, well, I say an hour long. It said 45 minutes on BGG, but we all know that's a lie. So there's it says here on the front, which you can't read. Maybe I'll show you guys in a minute. But it says 5 possible endings, by which you can try and discover by playing again and changing your choices. I don't know if that also includes dying, because you can die. So we're going to try not to die and discover one of the endings. But if we die, that is an ending. Difter, we don't have 3 hours to play, so we're going to hope that we can get this done in the time we've got to stream. And so with that in mind, no dilly-dallying around decision-making. We've got to make decisions, team. And here to help me make good decisions, because we all know I'm basically incapable of it, is Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hello. Hi, Mike. Hi, chat. Hello. Yes, I am the decision maker. Although I don't know anything about this game. I've just been told to show up. Don't know what we're playing, really. But actually, this is the one type of game where I don't really suffer from massive AP.
Michael's the one that suffers with AP on these ones. he gets so stuck on making the right choice and not getting us killed. Whereas if we know, we know. If we don't, then c'est la vie. I've definitely died stupidly in Seventh Continent a few times. And
can you die from a? I don't think you can die in Seventh Continent from like just a really stupid, like a one-off, like a binary decision. Can you? There's no like.
You sure can.
Oh really?
Yes.
You can actually be like really really healthy and like have a really thick deck and then just be like.
And then the game's like you're just dead. Yep. Game over.
That hasn't happened. I played like almost all of, if not all of, the base set, and I've never died in that under those. I have died. We have run out of stamina, like run out of the action deck, but we've never. That's awful. You're bad at this.
I am bad at this. Who's ready to walk into the dark cave with no torch and see what happens? Let's go. Is this gonna work? Okay. I'm just making sure that we're sort of reasonably well set up here, which is so. Can you all hear Chris? Yeah, yes. Your audio is on. Thank God. I panicked there for a minute.
Usually, someone would have said by now.
Yeah. It's true.
Unless they really don't want to hear from me, which is perfectly possible.
I can't imagine that. So here's the deck. It's still in shrink, so we're gonna test its promise of teaching us the game. Yes, unfortunately.
Haggers, just don't.
Is it possible to be nice today? No.
It's alright. You can't upset me on Thursdays. Not at the moment.
Because it's Taskmaster time.
It's Taskmaster Thursday. Instantly, that's not why we haven't got much time to stream. I have another engagement before Taskmaster starts. In fact, I won't even be able to watch it live today, but I will be watching it tonight. It's the most important day of every week. Taskmaster Thursday.
So what we've got here is Cartaventura Lhasa. Cartaventura is a narrative game that lets you experience interactive adventures. Discover the 5 possible endings by playing again and changing your choices. Do not mix up the cards in this deck. To begin, turn this card over. And this is designed by Thomas Dupont and Arnaud Ladagnus. And
I wonder if he's any relation to Antoine Dupont, the French scrum half, perhaps.
Perhaps. It's
And
also
Heggers,
published by
so
Blam, by the way. Okay.
let's say Heggers, you haven't. It's not you've been nice to me for so many streams, just you haven't given me sass. That's all.
You have just drawn your first urgent card. You should read it and resolve it completely. There is no need to take notes for your adventure or look for hidden elements in the cards. Follow instructions and let yourself be guided. Having made one of the choices below together, turn this card over and place it on top of the deck so the next cards remain hidden. Read the rules of the game, draw card 2, or begin your adventure if you've already read the rules. Draw card 3.
I choose read the rules.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we're going to get very far if we choose not to resolve card 2. So now it's there as a deck cover, which I like that they've thought of that. That's really neat. All right. You have just drawn your first objective card. Place it in front of one of the players. I shall put it in front of me. Objectives.
Well, you can if needs be, you can have a little section for me if it becomes necessary.
If that becomes a thing, yeah. Indeed, it did say on BGG, by the way, guys, that this played up to 8, but the community seemed undecided on whether it was best with 1 or 2. So, I say up to 8. Actually, up to 6. It said.
So therefore, we're playing with 1.5, which is Mike and me remotely.
Yeah, exactly. We split the difference. So we've got. You've just drawn your first objective card. Objectives can be useful throughout the game. Be careful, the cards are double-sided. On the front of a card, the number is in a colored circle. On the back, it's a black square. Never turn the card over if the game doesn't tell you to do so. Begin the adventure by drawing card 3. Note, when you draw an urgent card, you must resolve what it asks completely and straight away before moving on. Unless you've been instructed to discard an urgent card, leave it in place on the table. Clarification, if you need to replace a card, discard it and put a new one in the same place. Alright, seems fairly straightforward. I think we can manage that. My objective is, my new objective card, which is now here, is follow the game rules correctly.
Layla, I endorse that. In fact, I think we should have a Lego figure for me, Michael, and Ollie, just permanently sitting on the shelf behind Mike, judging him.
Always watching, always judging. Alright, so we're drawing card 3 here as our adventure begins. Now, by the way, I didn't mention it, but Cartaventura is a series of games, so this is the Lhasa game, but there are in fact currently three boxes in the series that are available. So Cartaventura is the collective term for all 3 games. Verdun, France, spring 1916. You are a French war correspondent, and you've just witnessed the atrocities of a war which will remain etched in the memory. Thousands of men have fallen under shell bombardment, literally buried in their filthy trenches. It is here, deep in the shadows, that you discover a book that fills your head with light. Its author, Alexandra David-Neel, speaks of an Eastern philosophy whose paths lead to wisdom and serenity. On your return from the front, you convince your editor to send you to write about this extraordinary woman in the farthest regions of the world. You begin to follow in her footsteps, secretly hoping that the journey will guide you towards inner peace, and perhaps, upon reaching the doors of Lhasa, the forbidden spiritual city, which will eventually chase away the demons which haunt you in the violent nightmares you have every night.
Will you? It's a question, will you?
Will we do it, Chris? What do you reckon? Can we solve our night terrors?
Chase demons away? No, of course I can't chase demons away. I'm a human. I'm terrified of demons. I have self-preservation.
They're very spooky.
If there are demons, I'm running the other way. That's why I don't find these games hard to make decisions in. It's self-preservation all the way.
All right, so we're going to move our deck over here for the time being. It says draw 4 and then turn card 3 over.
So am I right in thinking we keep that space up?
Nightmare card.
Already?
There's our nightmare. And then it says turn this card 3, over.
Oh, right, okay.
Crossing the Mediterranean, the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, the Arabian Sea, it takes you nearly a month to reach the port of Colombo on the island of Ceylon, off the Indian coast and under British rule. This is where Alexandra David-Neel was last seen. Having been received by the unavoidable British governor of the island, she gave the story of her journey to the local newspaper, the Ceylon Morning Leader. Now your editor is waiting impatiently for your articles. In return, he will send you banker's drafts to help boost your funds. He reminds you that the amounts he sends will naturally depend on the quality and originality of the material you provide. You start with 2 coins. Draw card 5 and place it in front of you with the number 2 at the top. Draw card 6 and place it at the center of the table. If card 2 is visible, turn it over and read it. Discard this card. Alright, so I think this is going to give us a little money counter here. Let's go to the top camera here so you guys can see sort of what I'm doing here. Draw card 6 and place it at the center of the table. Okay, so card 6 is Colombo.
So that's where we're at.
So this is where we have arrived. And we've got a little compass down there with some numbers. And I guess this symbol up here meaning this is a location. So there's our nightmare. I'm going to put our nightmare to one side for now. That's what we're trying to cure. Here's Colombo. And we've got draw card 5. Aha! Money! This is how we're going to keep track of our money. I was about to get some coins out or something. Be careful! If you go below 0, turn this over. Oh no, we've been defunded. Because we have to keep our funds going. Okay, we're currently on 2 funds. I realize it's easier over here. So there's our nightmare card. Get rid of the nightmares. That's our objective. And
didn't it say turn over card 2 as well, if it was on the table, which it is?
If card 2 is visible, turn it over and read it. Oh, yeah. But it's just the Oh, no, it's not. Holy cow. You have just drawn your first map card. Place it in the middle of the table. Draw and read the cards whose numbers are around the compass.
Yeah.
Place the cards around the map in the spots marked by the compass.
I suspected this.
Several action cards are now visible. Together, the players will choose an action from those available and follow the instructions carefully. Once you've decided, choose a new action from those that you can see. You are now familiar with the 4 types of cards: actions, maps, urgent, and stop. Or objective, actually. I believe that's... well, I don't know. It's also on the little hand symbol here is also on the money, so maybe this is... I don't know. Don't know what it's called. Never mind.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
The symbol lock and key will help you packing the game away. Note, if an instruction tells you to turn over a map card, do not remove the cards placed around it.
Okay.
Yeah, Difter, I mean, so Difter says, there's no rule book, but also the game is a rule book. Yeah, but I don't mind learning this way if it's fairly straightforward. And it can be skipped, so...
And you feel like you're playing straight away, which is always nice.
Exactly. So we've got up here the docks. So this is card number 7, which is to the north of Colombo. It says here, leave for Darjeeling in the north of India. Discard all other action cards, lose 2 coins, and turn over this card. Or, leave for Bombay in the west of India. And it's a similar thing, but you replace this card with a different card, and you lose just 1 money. So it's slightly cheaper. So there's the docks there. We've got card 8, which is an action card called Tavern. Talk to the handful of modest Sri Lankan sailors, or talk to the British soldiers returning from India. And then both of them reveal information, I suppose. And to the south, card 9, which is edition of the Ceylon Morning Leader. Search the archives for an article about Alexandra David-Neel. Use a coin and turn this card over. Okay.
So if I had to guess, I would say we might find information that would help us make a decision if we want to go to Bombay or to... I can't remember the other location was.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got... we can either...
sail blindly.
Sail blindly. It's 50-50. One of them's possibly right. Or we can do a bit of research either at the tavern or the paper. Now, the paper lines up with the clue we've already got, but the tavern's free.
Mm-hmm. So is that all prep done? It's now decision-making time?
It is. It's decision-making time. So, do you want to have the first decision?
Sure. Well, I know what I'd like to do, so yeah, why not? I think always go to the tavern first and listen to the local rumors and gossip. And I think we'll talk to the. Wait, what part of the world are we in? I know
India.
We're in Colombia. Oh, we're in India itself already.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think we're.
Let's talk to the Sri Lankan sailors. I reckon they know more than the British do.
Seems legitimate, and also it's free, so I second this motion. Okay, so
well, I wonder. I'm assuming we won't get to, because we're going to flip this card over. I assume we won't get to do the other one after this. Maybe we will.
talk to the handful of modest Sri Lankan sailors. Turn over card 8. In spite of an open distrust of Asians, you make the acquaintance of Tharushi, a young Sri Lankan fisherman of Indian origin. You talk briefly about what has brought you here and of his hard livelihood fishing in the sea. He tells you that last year he took the woman you were looking for to the port of... I'm so sorry for my pronunciation here, folks.
That one's hard.
Visakhapatnam. Yeah, Visakhapatnam on the Indian mainland, and could do the same for you at a minimal cost. He can take you there in his little boat whenever you like, across the vast Indian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal. He also encourages you to return to the center of town and not hang around on the docks too long, since the soldiers in the English garrison are not the friendliest. Discard this card and turn card 6 over.
So I've just used Google to discover how to pronounce this, and it is tough. Visakhapatnam. It is basically as it looks to us, but said quickly and with confidence.
So we've got 2 new cards coming out here now as a result of this situation. We've got card 11 and 12.
So the tavern is presumably still there, but just maybe with different options.
Perhaps it's... Nope, it has been replaced with our new friend and his landing stages. So he will take us towards the heart of India for $1 or 1 gold coin. Right, I'm going to go into this camera mode here so I can realign this table camera a little bit without making you all seasick.
So our new friend Tharushi is offering to take us to where he took her last year.
Exactly, so we can follow in her footsteps.
So that's possibly a good thing to do.
We've also unlocked more, the center of town, I guess. We're going to get 2 more action cards. So this one is... Oh, this one's supposed to be over here, actually. Sorry. So he's sitting over there by the docks, I guess. And then we've got this one over here, which is more stuff to explore with cards 14 and 13. Oh. So card 13 is the Eastern Gate. Join up with the expedition leaving town. Turn this card over. Or... The governor's residence. Question the governor about Alexandra David-Neel. Turn card 14. This card over. Ooh.
Okay. I think it's your turn to make a decision then.
Oh my god. So excited. I mean, my inclination is to talk to the governor because it's free.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Everything else costs money. Well, no, it's not. That's not true. Join up with the expedition leaving town doesn't cost money, but also I have no idea why I would go with them.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand. I didn't. Yeah, where are they going? I don't get it.
I suspect that this might be connected to, because it's likely there's only 1 copy of each map card. We'd probably know more about this if we'd spoken to someone else.
Okay.
The fact that we don't know anything is because we know what this card means. So, like, you'd probably, if you didn't talk to that guy, you'd probably put this card out going, who's that? Why would I go with him?
It's possibly, yeah, maybe it's the British soldiers going on an expedition.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they're like, oh yeah, we're going that way. Why don't you come with us? I mean, we're sort of metagaming a bit. We could do that, but I think we should just probably follow the information that we do know for sure. Which means either go with him or take these boats from the docks. We can still do that. Or, well, let's start by talking to the governor. See what he has to say. So, I wonder how far the map will spread out. Yeah, me too, Haggers. All right. The governor's residence. Question the governor about Alexandra David-Neel. Turn this card over. Yes, please. You there! I am but a peasant. Tell me what you know. The governor on the island, Sir John Anderson, receives you only as respectfully as his post obliges him to. He has a very different opinion of this Alexandra David-Neel, who he bumped into a few months ago en route to God knows where. She struck him as an eccentric, like his nephew, with his dangerous passion for exotic exploration. As for this Oriental philosophy, he invites you to instead visit the island's magnificent tea plantations, which he manages. He would be flattered if you took an interest, and might even be grateful. Turn card 12 over and discard this card. Ba, 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 ba. So, now when I turned this over, I don't discard this, right? It said don't do that. It said when you flip a card, don't discard all the other cards. So, I shall leave.
Where did it say that?
It says somewhere.
I assume you don't.
It says somewhere here on the map instructions.
Oh yeah, I assume you don't. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, do not move the cards placed around it when you flip a map card. So we still got some options, and now we've unlocked the tea plantation, which comes with 2 additional actions.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm going to tuck this money card down here so it's actually on camera. You guys can see it. I've got my nightmare card wildly far away. Okay. The camera pans across the bottom here as well, though. And we've got 17 and 16. So 16 is the owner's house. Meet the plantation manager. And 17, tea fields. Explore the tea plantation. I mean, on the one hand, I feel like this might be a big ol' waste of time. On the other hand, if we show interest, maybe this guy will give us something useful to take away on our journey with us.
Yeah, or might give us money or something. Which would be useful.
You guys are torturing puns in chat meanwhile. Eddie says, I hope this game has some Yeti attacks. And Hager says, not odds I'd want to bet him.
Oh, I didn't get that until you read it out loud. I was very confused.
Haggers, yeah, I think cards 8 and 13 are still totally valid option. 8.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to card 8, actually. We got rid of that at some point. But 11, our journey with our guy over here, I think is still fine. 13's probably still a valid option, although I think we already ruled that out anyway. But I presume we can still go off on the docks as well. I wonder if I wonder if he's not going to give us some money or something. That'd be nice.
Yeah, because I'd quite like to do card 9, pay the 1 money to go to the newspaper, but I'd feel more comfortable doing that if we had 3 money. Yeah,
do you think he could give us a coin, or do you think he might give us more than 1 coin if we're really polite?
And then we'll waste it because we can only take 3. Yeah,
I
don't know.
I'm wondering if we should maybe go to the newspaper first, because if he gives us 1 coin, it doesn't matter the order. But if he gives us 2, then the order matters.
It does.
And if he gives us 0, then we're in trouble, and we might have to leave with the expedition because we're too poor to take a boat.
Well, we won't be in that much trouble because one of the very first things the game does is gives you the option of spending money on this. So I don't think it'll be that disastrous. Let's go to the newspaper.
Cool. And Haggers, so the instructions said that if you change a map card or whatever, and the compass changes, the compass is purely there for deployment. So any cards on the table remain in their current positions. All right, so we're actually going to backtrack over here to the morning leader. And we're going to pay a coin. So we're going to go down to 1 here in order to Search the archives for an article about Alexandra David-Neel. Remember this? We can't just punch it into Google, kids. We actually have to go look stuff up and read it. There's no kids watching my show. You find the if there was a Cartaventura fortnight, maybe. You find the article about the journalist's meeting with Alexandra David-Neel. In some appendices, there are various quotes attributed to her, which reveal something of the integrity of her character and her particular style. You come across several that might be useful in the trials which await you. If it is cold, it is because you are looking where there is no heat. Courage is the most secure of attitudes. Everything loses its horror when you face it head on. Neglecting the little things because you say you want to achieve greater ones is a coward's excuse. Whenever you ask someone for something, if you expect something from them, be prepared for disappointment. So these are probably going to help us maybe as we come across our trials. So I'll leave this over here. Useful clues.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's that. So I think, are we going to go to the tea fields or the owner's house? I feel like...
It's your choice. It's your turn.
Is it still my turn? I think he said tour the tea fields, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I prefer to do, definitely.
Cool. Let's do explore the plantation then. Walking across the fields, you come across the workers there, nearly all women. They smile at you politely, but you notice their working conditions are grueling. On the slopes of the hill, they pick tea leaves by hand under the gaze of a sinister foreman with a whip on his belt, who makes it clear it would be best if you moved along. Despite the beauty of the location, you have plenty of material to write an article exposing the realities of colonial exploitation. So we can write the article, discard card 16, draw 19, and discard this card. So 16 is the owner's house. Or, maybe later, turn this card over and replace it. I mean, they did...
I would say... Go on.
I was just going to say, they did say that writing the articles would get us paid, although it's possibly not going to be a popular one.
Well, it will get us money, but I think we should turn... so I think it might get us different amounts of money, because you said the quality and originality will dictate how much money we get.
So you think you can put this back and visit the owner first?
Yeah, and then see, because that might, having spoken to the owner, might increase the value of this article, potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Layla says, I vote for killing the foreman. Yeah.
It's not an option yet.
Yeah. I don't know why. And Michael says, I don't know why, but I fully expect to see llamas. Me too. I want some llamas. So we'll leave this card for a hot minute, and we'll wander over here to meet the plantation manager. Turn this card over. You meet Barbara Grant, a friendly, dynamic young woman who is very proud to show you around her farming operation, created by the famous Samuel White Baker, the great 19th century English explorer. The setting is enchanting. Both her story and Baker's are thrilling, and the tea your charming hostess gives you to sample is divine. You have excellent material for a delightful article in praise of the plantation.
Okay. That's the difference, I see.
So we can either we can do what's morally right and probably make less money, or do what's morally wrong and probably make more money.
Would it not be? Would articles talking about the horrors of colonization not be more uncommon and therefore more original and therefore more money?
I would love to say I agree with you, but I feel like it'd be far more popular to write the comforting lies.
but our editor didn't ask us for popular pieces. He asked for original pieces.
All right, let's write the expose. I think it's morally right anyway, so if we run out of money, then we just let it be known that we did the right thing.
Okay,
so we draw 18 and discard this card and also the owner's house as well.
Yeah, we can't write both the articles after all.
So, so which one? It was draw 19. From our correspondent in Ceylon. I wish I'd set up like a 19 blah blah filter for this. Bloody refreshment. When it's time for high tea at the ambassador's residence and you sip a cup of the precious liquid, face smug and little fingers raised, take good care that you don't burn your tongue, because that's the only danger you risk. Whereas from dawn until dusk, shuffling across the plantation in Ceylon where that tea is picked, the women, or should I say beasts of burden, one encounters experience many other hardships and a far less refined colonial reality. Your editor-in-chief is utterly delighted with this article and encourages you to pursue this approach. He immediately wires you $2.
See, that's what he asked us to do.
Well,
do the unusual stuff.
And usually you're the cynic, so I guess your faith in the integrity of our editor has paid off.
It was just that I gave him what he asked for. That's all.
So here we go, $3. So it looks like
what would have happened if if we didn't have space for 2 money? You don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not been any sort of yeah, there's not been anything here about this being a cap, but I presume that we would just not get the extra money. Or else maybe we can break the game by getting some like tokens out to represent it. In any case, I'm sure we're not gonna make too much money. So, shall we head out with Tharushi? What do you reckon?
I think of the options we have, Tharushi is what I want to go with.
I think it's about time for that. This is all we've got, so off we go. Let's get our guy here and set out with Tharushi towards the heart of India. So we pay him $1. Thanks for the ride, friend, and draw 23. So I'm not even going to flip this card because it didn't tell me to, and I'm a good boy who follows instructions.
It's India. We're in India, Michael, and I think we're. What year is it? It was the early 20th century, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was 1916. Isn't that what it said?
Oh, there you go. We're French. If that matters.
A French war. Well, we were a war correspondent, weren't we? And now we're haunted by. I guess must be the First World War or something.
Presumably, yeah.
Yes, Stifter, I actually put a Patreon link in the description this time. I'm a good boy. You set off with Tharushi on his Orua, a small traditional Sri Lankan fishing boat. The start of your journey is enchanting, and you rejoice at such a fortuitous meeting. But off the coast, the weather deteriorates rapidly, and the sea fills the horizon, obscuring a sky of ominous black clouds. Tharushi... Oh, did the music just... Nope, it's just... Okay. Tharushi handles the boat valiantly, but the tropical storm, both violent and unforeseeable, gets the better of the frail skiff, which must rapidly turn around to escape sinking. Tharushi, ashamed, offers to return your money, even though you will know it will be invaluable to him to improve, however slightly, the desperate conditions of his life. So get your money back, or let the fisherman keep the money. Now we're testing our morals here, Chris.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do here now.
I want to let him keep it. I'm such a softie. Maybe we can write another article about this. Maybe our boss will at least give us $1.
What's card 11?
Card 11 is the Tharushi card.
Oh, okay. Discard this card and Tharushi. Okay. And then what will the other card do? So either way, this was a dead end.
Yeah, either way, this was a dead end.
That's it, Heggers. That's exactly it, Heggers.
Just waiting for the moment later when we're a coin short.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, because now if we want to go, oh God. Because I also find that sometimes going for the moral, like the Paragon route, always is boring insofar as most games seem to be designed that you should be doing that all the time. You know, the black and white that's moral choices done badly is when it's just black and white. You know.
Right, because the best path is obvious.
Yeah. It's like in Bioshock, you know, if you keep rescuing you rescue the little sisters instead of harvesting them, but after you've rescued like 3 or 4, you then get a big dump of the resource that you haven't been getting. So it's actually just there is no argument for harvesting them. It is better categorically to rescue them. So the only way a binary choice is interesting, a black and white choice is interesting, is if the bad moral choice actually has greater utility.
Yeah. So what you're saying basically is that this dollar should, if the game is designed well, significantly cost us.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it's utilitarianism versus morality, which is somewhat interesting. But
then why don't we take the charitable route, see what we get out of it, and then we can make an assessment on what we think about the narrative decision making in the game later on.
If we won't be getting anything out of it though, it's just going to be.
Well, we will see what's on the other side of this card. You know, if it's just a nice little story, then we can assess whether or not, you know. Whereas if it's like some kind of, I don't know, maybe a little clue that could help us, that would be okay.
Okay, well, let him keep it this time. But if we get screwed, we're going to be hard asses for the rest of the game.
Yep, that's fair enough. The Sacred Medallion. Tharushi apologizes profusely, especially since he might have been mistaken about the woman and isn't really sure whether he actually took her anywhere anymore. He gives you a small sacred medallion and swears that he will make offerings for you to the temple of Meenakshi. Seeking to be pardoned by any means, he also sets course towards the temple, sometimes called the Taj Mahal, of the south, the most beautiful place he knows in the world, situated in the south of India, directly opposite Ceylon. He promises he will bring you back whatever you like, and that this very short crossing will be far less dangerous. Turn 11 over. We've got the Sacred Medallion. Sell this object and we can perform this action whenever we like to gain $1. So it looks like we haven't actually lost anything. So we turn him over, and now we've got one new action as well here at the Taj Mahal. And I don't know where this card is supposed to go.
Wait, it's card 11, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think it's necessarily actually even connected.
I think you're meant to have cleared up all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
We've taken a boat, haven't we?
Yeah.
We're elsewhere now.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's the idea. We've gone south according to the card, so I'll move that over there. I don't think we'll need it anymore. I'll probably just clean it up.
No, I don't think we're ever going back there.
So here we go, and the card now that we have access to. So we've let us now note that we have broken even to an extent, but we've been taken somewhere else, and I don't know what this means.
Wait, if we hadn't given him the coin, would we not have flipped over that card 23?
Precisely. If we'd taken the coin back, we would have then had to go for the Eastern Gate expedition or the docks over here. So this is now the outcome of us having been charitable. So let us find out the cost of being charitable. Tharushi wasn't lying. The splendor of the ancient temple of Meenakshi has remained intact. The complex is not merely an architectural marvel, but the quintessence of Indian culture. The statue of the goddess, which overlooks the temple, was carved from a single emerald. From the outset, the building resembles a fortified citadel, which includes a complex of mandapas, sanctuaries, and the famous Potramarai Kulam, the pool containing the golden lotus. According to legend, its waters have the power to judge the value of a piece of writing. Mediocre efforts are supposed to sink, and those of quality to float. Through the explanations of your guide, you have material for a gripping article about this unique place and the Hindu gods it honors. You spend the rest of the afternoon writing it, and then to amuse yourself by placing it on the pond, but it sinks to the bottom immediately. So we can send the article as is and turn this card over, or we can stay another night to rewrite the article. We'll lose a coin, we'll draw card 25 and discard this card.
I have a question. What did we write this article on?
The Taj Mahal and Tharushi's description of it.
No, I mean what material did we write it on?
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently it's denser than water.
Or it's something absorbent. I wrote it on a tea towel.
Well, paper's absorbent, but paper still floats. For the most part. Well, I know what I would like to do.
Stay another night to write the article? I mean, I'm quite happy to send it as is, actually, because we only have room for another dollar.
I don't believe the water is sentient and can judge the quality of the writing. So I think we should send it as is.
And I think that we only need $1 more anyway, so it's probably fine.
I'm role-playing here.
It's true. You've decided you don't believe in this superstitious nonsense, and the article's probably fine. Let us find out whether the sacred waters happened to be right. From our correspondent in Madurai, southern India. The temple with almost 1,000 columns. At the heart of the ancient town of Madurai is one of the greatest temples in the country, a jewel of Dravidian architecture. You will find, for instance, an astonishing hall containing 1,000 carved columns. Reader, I counted them, and there were only 985. Equally of note is a large pool in which, despite the unbearable heat, one is forbidden to bathe. Your editor is surprised by this rather gossipy piece about such an unusual sight. Nevertheless, he wires you $1.
I wonder what happens if you do spend the night, because unless you get 3 money, it's not worth doing.
Yeah, is it possible we could... Well, I mean, if we'd gotten here without exploring... If we'd come here without exploring the tea and writing that article, we might be down to 1 or something, so...
Oh, you possibly meet someone by staying an extra night. Maybe someone... You encounter someone during your extra night.
Well, we've got a problem now, because I flipped over that card and resolved it, and now there's nothing else to do. Oh, discard this card, 24. Yeah, that's what I did. And now I've...
No differ, I don't believe so. No keywords, no.
Yeah, I didn't see... is there... Turn this card over. Yeah, this is the only action here. So... I have... I don't know if this is supposed to be attached somewhere here. It didn't...
Oh, yes. Heggers is right. The boatman, Taroshi said he'd bring us back for free. When he said we could leave whenever we wanted. Look, read the medallion. Read the medallion card 23. This is the secret ending. Yeah, secret ending is just live in this hotel forever.
He promises he will bring you back whenever you like, and the short crossing will be very simple. Yeah, okay. So I guess now we just we take the boat back to Colombo and discard this one.
Good thing we didn't get rid of all the Colombo cards after all.
We're going back to Colombo. Okay, so now we've got but 3 options remaining before we have exhausted all else. We can go take the docks to head to the north of India. We can leave for Bombay in the west. Both of these seem relatively arbitrary. We've had no clues as to whether we should go to Darjeeling or Bombay. or we can follow the mysterious expedition out the Eastern Gate.
That is...
Like, let us not talk about the incident of the, I can't even remember what it was in Sleeping Gods, but let's not talk about that thing.
why would we just sail off in a random direction?
It's true, did we have any, we haven't found sort of any real clues, have we?
No, not really. Those are presumably clues to make choices.
Yeah.
I haven't played Sleeping Gods yet, but I'm probably going to back the new Game Found campaign.
I have backed the Distant Skies box. I was actually thinking I'd want to play it again, actually. Just, you might even catch me doing it.
It was that good.
Check out the expedition, because once you get on the boat, you lose the ability. It's true. Once we get on the docks, we lose all other abilities. There's nothing to suggest on the Eastern Gate.
Oh, does it say that? That will discard everything in Colombo?
It says here, discard all other actions.
Oh, yeah, fine then.
Whereas the expedition out the Eastern Gate does just say, turn this card over. So
let's do that then, and hopefully it will tell us where to go.
Yeah, maybe tell us, give us something. You meet William Anderson Jr., so this is the son of the local guy, who is preparing to leave Colombo to journey deep into the Sri Lankan jungle. He is convinced he has a map which will allow him to finally rediscover the mythical city of Anuradhapura. He tells you it was founded in the 3rd century and was a major site of Buddhist pilgrimage around the legendary Fig Tree of Buddha. Where the Buddha found enlightenment. Or Siddhartha Gautama found enlightenment. The capital of Ceylon for 1,000 years. It is now lost in the heart of the jungle, accompanied by his 2 Sri Lankan porters. Accompanied by his 2 Sri Lankan porters, you plunge into the thick, abundant undergrowth. Your progress is slow and frustrating. The nights are dogged by the pounding of heavy rain and the ceaseless buzzing of mosquitoes. Your 2 porters are showing signs of disquiet. William, in the grip of a fevered excitement, is convinced you cannot be far from the extraordinary discovery, which he is sure will bring untold glory and riches to you and to him. Continue the expedition. Go back to Colombo.
I guess continue, right?
We have no reason not to, other than this guy's probably full of it. So we're going to discard this card and draw... So yeah, I'm going back to Colombo just means we're going to wind up on that boat anyway.
Yeah, we might as well see what the story is with this expedition.
Alright, here we go. Discarding this one. Draw card 20.
Lose all your money.
In the jungle, you're robbed, and you're dead. Reset the game and try again.
Robbed by wild animals.
Yeah, 2 wolves rock up and they're like, give me all your money. After several days, still not having found the city, you are seized by a strong fever, along with headaches, aching limbs, and the most uncomfortable digestive problems. Between sweats, your nightmares return, worse than ever. The porters try to urge you to turn back with them while repeating the word in Tamil, malaria, malaria! William, subject to more and more disturbing hallucinations, ignores the warnings. He is certain of reaching his goal and pushes on ahead on his own. Anuradhapura is within reach. I mean, no. This guy, no. We go back, right?
No. 100% we return. Yeah. This is the game giving us one last warning before it really punishes us.
Yeah, it's like you made a dumb choice following this moron. Do you want to double down on your dumb choice? I mean, to be fair, I'm quite interested to find out what happens. But maybe I can do that off camera. And you guys, if you want to know, will have to buy the game. It is super cheap anyway. I think these are like 10 euros or something. So we return with the porters. Draw card 22 and discard this one. What if we just die in town anyway from malaria?
Well, that's the thing. I'm concerned here. This has become Far Cry 2 all of a sudden.
Your porters give you stalwart assistance and help you get back to Colombo. On the way home, one of them, a Hindu, hears of your desire to go in search of the woman and the city of Lhasa. He tells you that his brother, Tharushi, a sailor, might be willing to take
God's
you
sake.
to the south of India on his boat, and this for a price far lower than those of the ferry and trains you would otherwise have to use. Okay, so I mean, actually though, I'm looking... Okay, well, let's finish this card first. But first, he recommends you take a course of quinine to help bring down your fever and accompanies you to the clinic in Colombo. Quinine is the active ingredient in tonic water, which was invented precisely for this purpose. But now we just enjoy. That's why gin and tonics were so popular in India. Because they also thought gin was a medicine.
Does quinine actually help reduce fever?
I actually have no idea if it actually helps with that. That's just what they thought.
I'm gonna guess it doesn't because I've never encountered it in modern medicine. Or maybe it does. Who knows?
Okie dokie. So, if 11 is not visible, turn 6 over. 11 is not visible. Oh, 11... Well, I mean, 11 actually is visible. I guess it's... This is...
Which one is
11 is the Taj Mahal. I just put it away. So I guess 11 is visible.
Wait, hang on. Is that where he took us?
Yeah, that's where he took us, where we wrote our...
Oh, yeah, then it is.
We wrote the Sinky article.
Yeah, that's definitely visible there.
Yeah. So 11 is visible. So if 11's
Turn
not...
6 over.
Yeah, but 11 is visible, so that's fine. And turn this card over.
God damn it.
It costs you a little money and several days' rest to look after yourself and bring your terrible fever under control. The nurse who is looking after you assures you that, through your misfortune, you had a lot of luck. Malaria is a scourge which claims thousands of victims on the island every year. She seems equally concerned with the terrible nightmares which plague you so much at night. She has been an involuntary witness to your screams and calls for help when you are fast asleep. Oh, to your screams and calls for help when you are fast asleep. So we lose $1 paying for medicine, and then we discard this card.
God damn it, Heggers. Was it your idea we went on this expedition?
Well, that guy's son is like super dead.
We should have gone. We might as well have gone to the damn thing now. God damn it. Oh, I'm so mad.
So the thing is, we've now only got 2 options, but it reminds me actually that. So, why do we want... I can't remember why we want to go to the south. Because it just reminded me that Tharushi said he would take us to the south. But he also said that that would be following Alexandra. And that he then confessed he may be totally off on the wrong track. So...
Yes, the only reason... We want to go to wherever she went to, but we haven't really discovered any compelling evidence for where she went.
Right, so we're basically taking a complete gamble here on either the north or the west of India.
Yeah. Which is cheaper?
The west is $1. The north is $2.
I mean, we do have the medallion, obviously, we could sell for money anytime.
Yeah, we can discard that for $1 whenever.
But keeping it might also have another function.
Heggers is upset we didn't follow the expedition to its bitter end. I'm intending to do a Patreon update stream, Heggers, so if you're real good, maybe we can explore that possibility on the Patreon update. If you behave yourself, whatever that means.
Oh dear.
So, yeah, that's...
I think we should go west.
Okay, cool. We're going west because we're cheapskates. Replace...
Also because north is directly away from south, and even the only hint we've had of her direction was from Tharushi.
I agree. I'm with you here. Even though I mean it's not nothing. It might even be actively unhelpful, but it's the only thing we've got. So
exactly.
And also, yeah, west is closer to north or south. So unless you went east, then, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so we're discarding all other action cards.
We're stretching our logic here, but we'll go with it.
So replace card 7 with card 26. It's a new location. the west. And it says also reveal card 27. Oh, this has got me wanting to play Sleeping Gods again, actually. I mean,
I think that
everyone's comparing it to...
I think the Arctic might be in the way, Eggers.
Yeah, Eggers says, yeah, you could go north, go all the way around the world to get south. It's true, yeah. Russia and also the North Pole might be preventing us from doing that.
Also, and then if you want us to go all the way around, then we also have to contend with Antarctica coming back up.
This is quicker.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway.
In Colombo, you take a boat as far as Tuticorin, where a train carries you to Bangalore. Another takes you along the west coast to Goa, and finally to Bombay. You quickly lose yourself in this sprawling city, which now has over 1 million inhabitants. Violent rains and unbearable humidity also make the smallest of moments a challenge. For many of the desperately poor here, town life is a constant struggle to survive, and you frequently recoil at scenes of deprivation and profound misery. Now is not the time for you to find a calm and inner peace. Oh, I also forgot to pay our $1. That much is confirmed by Alphonse Dugamois, a consular attaché. You meet by chance during one of your explorations. He declares that the town, like the country, is on the verge of an uprising in the name of a man he has heard talk of recently called Gandhi, who is starting to gather around him some of the discontented voices seeking independence. Uh-oh. At your request, Dugamois carries out several inquiries about this Alexandra David-Neel. No one, either in his circle or at the Theosophical Society he belongs to, has heard any mention of her or of her passage to Bombay. It seems like you are on the wrong track. Since the French state is trying to close down its Indian agencies to concentrate on its interests in Indochina, Dugamois suggests you reconsider your position in India. You are now convinced that your journey could develop more fruitfully traveling towards Nepal or Tibet in the north. Tired and more than a little demoralized, you catch a train to the north. We picked the wrong one, Chris. We lose $2.
Well, how are we supposed to know that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if there was a subtle clue somewhere, but I didn't pick it up. Anyway, we're going to lose 2 coins, so either we're going to flip this card or we're going to give up our medallion as well.
Well, so we lose if we go below 0, don't we?
I don't know. We flip this coin card over and find out.
I'm pretty sure it said we lose if you go below 0.
It says, careful, if you go below 0, turn this card over.
Let's sell the medallion to avoid that, I think.
Very good. So, buy medallion. And we're now down to 0. And, oh yeah, I have to read what happens next. Turn 26 over. Discard this card. So now we get 28. Uh-oh. Pondicherry, Madras, Calcutta. You travel for days before finally arriving in Darjeeling. There, English soldiers inform you that in view of recent worrying events of rebellion, the region of Sikkim is being placed under curfew. From now on, it is forbidden for any foreigners to be there without imperial permission. Non-British Westerners are being assigned rooms under strict surveillance in the only hotels still open. If you have the military badge or the safe conduct, if not, in spite of your protest, the British soldiers place you under house arrest in the hotel. Replace this card with card 50.
This isn't going very well.
Where would we have got those things?
I guess maybe if you write the plantation, if you write the article in favor of the plantation, you get like the safe passage from the governor. Maybe that's the only thing I can possibly think of.
Well, I guess this map card is going away as well, because we're now in Darjeeling, and we've got 3 more action cards. But we are under house arrest, so I think really all we can do is explore this house. Right. Okay, but they're going to get charged for the hotel stay. Yeah, and then we're going to get evicted. We're going to become destitute.
I bet the Tories own shares in this hotel chain.
The local government, sure.
Well, we're in India pre 1947, so it's Tories.
Yeah. All right, so basically we've got 3 options, which are all hotel because we're trapped in the hotel. But the good news is we've been playing longer than half an hour and we're not dead yet, so we've done better than my friend.
Oh, really? Who's that?
The chap who gave me this. He said that he died in half an hour.
Wow. Okay, how much of the deck do we have left?
More than half.
Oh, but presumably you don't see all of it.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't.
Okay, let's keep it going then, I guess. So
we got 3 options here. We've got hotel. Try to persuade the guards to let you go. Turn this card over. We've got talk to another European who's also confined to the hotel. And we've got try to convince the manager to help smuggle you out. That costs $1 though, which we can't afford. So.
Oh, I feel this is an easy decision. So we can't afford to be smuggled out. I feel that persuading the guards might be easier if we can get some information, maybe. And also, I'd quite like to find a fellow European and complain to him about the fact that we're under house arrest.
Agreed. And he's like, this is the worst expedition ever. This is an anti-expedition. We're going on an expedition to room 12. You meet Heinrich Friedman, a young German pilot. He tells you that he deserted the Air Force in his biplane and, having crossed all of Eastern Europe and the Middle East in stages, landed here a few months ago. Because of his nationality, the British forces have made him stay in this hotel until the end of the war. Since the outcome of the conflict is most uncertain, he is trying desperately to escape and pursue his journey, perhaps as far as Tibet, where he may find a little of the freedom he says he is so stubbornly refused here. To do that, he will need an ally, a helper, to mislead the English who watch him so that he can get back to his plane, hidden not far from him here at night. Ooh. So we can agree to help him escape, or we can refuse to help him for now.
I think we have a better chance of escaping together than without him, than alone. But we could potentially have a look at the guards card before we decide.
Yep, I think that all sounds correct.
But so unless the guards card is significantly more appealing for some reason, I think we'll go with that.
Yeah, welcome to Cartaventura Hotel, guys. Alright, so here we go. This is what happens when we try to talk to the guards. While acknowledging your helpful actions, the soldiers still refuse to let you leave on account of the current situation in the region. However, when they ask you to help them in discovering the true identity of another Westerner staying in this hotel, he is a German pilot placed here a few months ago. The English think he could be a German agent trying to transport arms to Indian freedom fighters. They guarantee you freedom of movement if you cooperate. So, cooperate and attempt to unmask the Westerner. So, we either rat him out, or we flee to his biplane with him.
I mean, if we get out here, we don't get access to a plane. Let's go with him.
That's true. We'd get stuck in Darjeeling and we're shit broke. So, I guess let's gamble on the plane option.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, here we go. So, we come back and we agree to help the man in room 12. We replace this card with card 48.
Come on, Heinrich, help us out, mate.
Please be an honest person and not someone. We've had some pretty bad luck. We could really use an upswing here, Heinrich.
Don't make me regret not turning you in.
You gather your things quickly, meet Heinrich discreetly, and board his biplane. As it
Wait,
takes...
how do we get out? What?
Oh, hang on. Wait, was I... Yeah, no, this is right. Yeah.
Place the car with car 48.
Yeah, so I think, it just, we distracted the guards, as we said we would. It's fine. As it takes off, you see English military vehicles below you driving towards the secret runway. You are very lucky that you weren't all arrested. Flying over the rocky foothills in the first glimmers of day is a sublime experience. Then you realize you've forgotten the satchel containing all your money. So here you are with no resources, en route to an unknown destination, placing your future completely in the hands of fate, which here they call karma. Heinrich puts his plane down on the eastern border of Tibet in the province of Shigatse. He can't go any further and must turn back. He wishes you the best of luck and hopes the war will be over soon.
Joke's on you, game. We didn't have any resources.
Yeah, exactly. Discard everything. Oh, well, we discard all our nothing then. Yeah, buy all of our nothing. Okay, discard everything if you have it.
Passive secret safe conduct, the military insignia. We never knew what those were, how to get them. Sacred medallion. We had that, but we ended up having to sell it. But we don't have no money anyway. Now we have no money anyway. Discard all the action cards, draw card 42, and turn this card over. We got very lucky there in a way.
I think so. All right, so the hotel's gone. Bye, hotel. Good riddance.
There was another. I think there was another card to draw, wasn't there?
Yeah, it said draw 42, and I guess also 55 because that's listed right there.
Yes, indeed. So we've ended up by absolute chance in Tibet. Is it going to turn out this is where she is?
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is like new rules. You have no more need of any money, but you must now manage the power of your destiny, or karma. It says discard 5. Oh, card 5. That's the money card. Bye, money card. Unlike money, if you reach 0 karma, you are not ruined. But, well, spoilers. But on the other hand, you cannot take any more choices which would make you lose karma below 0. Turn this card over and place it in front of you with the number 1 at the top. So,
well, okay then.
We can only spend karma if we have karma. We have 1 karma. Alright. Continuing on our way. Here you are at the gateway to Tibet, in a landscape of breathtaking beauty. At the foot of an almost black mountain, contrasting with the white snow on the glacier, green meadows stretch as far as the eye can see around an immense turquoise lake. If card 49 is visible, it's not. If not, on a hill you notice some long colored flags. Beyond a forest you make out narrow columns of smoke, doubtless from a village. Further off on the shores of the lake you spot the roofs of a little monastery. Okay, and then we draw card 56. Which I guess we just keep going with because, yeah, it says urgent. This is an urgent card. The journey of the last few days has genuinely exhausted you. Swamped by fatigue, you sink into what you hope will be a healing sleep. Unfortunately, your old nightmares come back to torment you. The faces of your lost comrades, screams in the dark, their bodies broken by exploding shells, floating shadows of death. The visions wake you, barely rested, still feverish. What about all our quinine that we took? That's definitely a medicine. After a sleep haunted by the nightmares of the past, you open your eyes on a present filled with new potential. You resume your journey on the summit of the hill, attached to the multicolored flags where lots of strips of printed fabric blow in the wind. You surprise a very young man, head-shaven and wearing the traditional red tisivara, attaching a new piece of fabric. Replace this card with card 57.
I wonder what's in the back of that card.
Knowing a few scraps of English, he introduces himself to you. His name is Lopsang. He explains that he had to flee a neighboring monastery, besieged and then looted by a cruel Chinese warlord. And now he is all alone. You ask him to travel some of the way with you, but he explains politely that he must finish writing prayers for each of his lost brothers first, before the wind carries them to the gods. After several hours, you understand that the ritual seems to need to last as long as the young monk. You understand that the ritual seems to need to last as long as the young monk's profound pain. In the icy wind and the encroaching night, you ask yourself if your presence here is a help or a hindrance to Lopsang in his ritual of silent prayers. So we can stay here for the night, which will cost us a karma, and we will replace this card 58, or we can start looking for Alexandra again and flip this card over. I see no reason why we would stay here.
Not really. I mean, I imagine that we'll still end up looking for Alexandra again. It's just we'll just end up spending the karma for something. I think we should just leave.
Well, I mean, if we stay here, maybe we help him or something. It sounds like he might actually be in trouble because he's got. Oh, but also we have nothing, so I don't know. I don't think we can help him with his problems, really. Yeah, Haggers, we might get something if we stay, but
lose a karma though.
Yeah, we'd lose a karma. And what if we need that for something else?
I mean, our objective ultimately is to look for this Alexandra woman, and so far we found absolutely no clues whatsoever, and yet have ended up in Tibet for no reason. So I feel we should probably go back to looking for her in case she's back in India.
Yeah, in case we're not meant to be in Tibet. All right, let's start looking for Alexandra then. I do think, Heggers, you might be right about if we stay here and help him out, maybe we'll discover something meaningful or profound. But yeah, we're doing the Alexandra thing. We've got to keep this play train a moving. So this is card 57, and now we're going to reveal 60.
Next time we have a chance to spend karma, we'll do it though.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. If we've no karma, then next time we have an option to spend karma, we won't be able to.
Yeah.
So let's hang on to one.
Before reaching the forest, a large river emptying into the lake blocks your way. The bridge... This seems like to have come out of nowhere, but...
Oh, I know what to do here. Oh my god.
Blocks your way. The bridge across it seems to have been destroyed recently. An old lady is desperate that she will never be able to get to the other side and back to her village. According to her, the other bridge is a long way away, and her old legs wouldn't be strong enough to get her there with her many overloaded bags. She begs you to carry her to the other side. The current looks quite strong. The water is icy cold, and you're not sure if you could even get across yourself without difficulty. You notice sacred decorations and statuettes sticking out of her bags, no doubt from a nearby monastery.
I wonder if she stole them from the monastery.
She's the Chinese warlord. Get into the freezing water to help the woman, or move on without helping the woman.
Can you read the book, the clues we got from the I think one of them mentions about icy cold.
Yeah. I think you're pretty bang on there. Right, where's our clues? If it is cold, it is because you are looking where there is no heat.
That's one of those things. Do you know those things that sounds deep and clever, and then you think about it and it's like, oh, you're just talking rubbish, actually, mate. I mean, I don't know. I guess I kind of.
If it is cold, it is because you're looking where there's no heat.
I mean, that clue doesn't help choose between these two options, but I wonder if it'll help us deal, going into the freezing water will create a situation where that hint will then help us get through it, is what I'm wondering. I think we should help the woman.
Cool. Let's see if we can make use of our hints then. So we're going to replace this card with 61.
Also, this will get us, surely this will get us good karma.
Yeah, surely. After these events, it did say replace this card with card 61, right?
I don't think so, because that does not look right to
No,
me.
it doesn't look right, but it definitely says replace this card with card 61.
Dear.
But this is not right. This is a different story. Get into the freezing water to help the woman. Yep, that's not right. Uh-oh, typo.
What's here? What's the name of this game?
Cartaventura Lhasa, Lhasa. Cartaventura is Cartaventura.
What's the card that we're looking at right now? Not 61, but the other card.
60.
Bit of BGG searching. Hang on.
I think they've mixed up the text at the bottom of these two. I think if you help her, you're supposed to flip this over. And then if you don't help her, you reveal card 61, which is like, move on, you know?
Yeah, just give me 1 sec. I'm just searching.
Yeah, suddenly tiger. Exactly, Hackers. Like...
suddenly tiger standing before me. Unfortunately, I'm not getting any hits on card 60 in BGG's forums. So we might just have to try your theory and flip it over.
Nope. Flipping it over is not helpful.
God damn it. I mean, is it possible that how much that card have you read?
The back of it?
Card 60. Card 60. Sorry, card 61. How much have you read? Like, is it definitely, is it definitely the wrong card, or is it just horribly written?
After these events, you plunge into the forest. So, potentially, it's just we miss a chunk of story. Because it's like after... So, I guess, like... So, we chose get into the freezing water to help the woman. And then, after these events, you plunge into the forest. So, maybe we just helped her across and then nothing further of note happened. You know, like...
Well, should we just not help her then? Because we don't know how to help her?
I think that I think we should just continue on to card 61.
But we can't, because that's just randomly putting us into a new scenario.
Yeah, but what if we're like miserably punished for not helping her? I don't think this was entirely similar to the Hotel Escape Difter. In that instance, we seem to have skipped, like, distracting the guards, how we sort of got out of the hotel and made our way to the biplane, but it was a natural continuation. This is, I mean, I guess just like... The thing is, what's interesting about this is it's asking us to make a decision and then not telling us the outcome of that decision.
But what happens if you don't help her? Flip the card over and see if it does actually address the decision we've just made.
It does. It says, well, no, it doesn't address our decision. It says, you go on your way. One time too not many, not confronting what karma decides to place in your path as a choice. Like all choices, it has consequences. The consequence of inaction is detachment and voluntary blindness. Dark thoughts awaken your inner demons, and they...
Yeah, look, you move on to card 61 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is basically, do you lose to karma or not? That's all it is.
Yeah, so card 61 is just horribly written.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, spoiler alert for my thoughts, this whole fucking thing is horribly written. but continue.
So, okay, hackers, suddenly tiger!
Suddenly tiger!
After these events, you plunge into the forest. Composed of century-old pines and spruces, you move forward on a soft carpet of needles in the shadow of these green and gold giants. A huge organic cathedral. Yes, a cathedral made of pines and pine needles. The magic of the place and time is suddenly broken by a noise, a crack, and then a low growl. An imposing and majestic white tiger appears at the edge of a clearing. He stops and looks intently at you. For a few moments you are literally transfixed by this vision, held between disbelief, terror, and fascination. Is this a trick of your imagination? The tiger seems to be sizing you up too. It seems he can sense your fear, or, on the other hand, your inner calm, since he pauses between attacking you and letting you go. Now you must turn around in your path, or appeal to your karma to overcome this test. So, we can go back to the monastery, turn this card over, head back towards the monastery. Or we can move towards the tiger by spending a karma, which we wouldn't have if we stopped with the monk.
Exactly, and with that in mind, and also the fact that white tigers are literally one of my favorite animals ever, I want to go towards the white tiger.
All right, so we decrease our karma to 0, and then draw card 65.
This is exciting. Good thing we didn't stay in that where it was.
The tiger informs you its name is Alexandra David-Neel. Congratulations, your quest is at an end. You and the cat live happily in inner peace for the rest of your days. Hey, we did it, guys. We unlocked the good ending.
You could be right, Hagus. You could be right.
Okay. Okay, so now we don't have enough karma to resolve this.
God
properly.
damn it!
Well, we'd need 2 more karma, so we would have had to have a total of 3. You approach and, as carefully as possible, try to walk around the animal. He scrutinizes the tiniest of your movements, then straightens up and, with his huge mouth wide open, lets out a long, powerful roar. Everything around you suddenly becomes strangely silent. A moment of truth in which you feel your heart racing, and the animal seems to sense the blood now beating strongly in your veins. He licks his lips and roars even more impressively as he approaches you, menacingly. So we don't have 2 karma to lose, so we're not allowed to choose that option. So we have to...
Surely we should have gotten karma for helping the old woman.
I agree, completely. We avoided losing 2 karma, which in our case would have been 1 because we're destitute.
Yeah, so it actually wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever.
So it says here, discard this card and turn 61 over. So basically that was just pointless. But that's fine. So we're back at the monastery now. I guess that we were somewhere here before.
We were never here. Why is it saying back at the monastery?
Well, I guess you probably came from the monastery if you didn't land the plane at the monk over here.
But we did.
Yeah. I mean, there's no clear indication of how these cards are meant to be laid out. I just put that to the north because that's where 55 was supposed to go. But the art seems to line up here and here. This has no art that line. Oh, maybe actually it's supposed to be here. Does this look like it lines up? Not really. At all. That lines up a bit. Anyway, not to worry, Chris, because now we've got card 62.
Excellent. My favorite card.
Uh-oh. The men who opened the door are armed mercenaries, and you realize that they were the ones who besieged the Tibetan monastery. They push you with their... Yeah, because apparently now we're just back at the monastery, which we were never there before, but whatever. They push you with their spears to face their chief, one of the most hostile and despotic warlords. In Chinese, he shouts orders at you, and you don't understand. He sizes you up for a long time and discusses your fate with his men. You sense he's trying to work out what the advantage would be, or the risk he would run if he randomly killed a Westerner. He calls out one of his men and understands... Chris's final thoughts right there. He calls out one of his men who understands some...
What was that?
You yawned.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm so tired.
He calls out one of his men who understands some rudiments of English to question you. You explain that you are a French journalist en route to Lhasa. Visibly confused, your response receives a wave of laughter, which transforms rapidly into contempt. The mercenaries drag you to the basement of the temple, and shut you in a cellar. You find the bones of Alexandra David-Neel. Without any notion of time or space, your body and spirit start to weaken. Only a trickle of melted snow, which occasionally runs down the walls, prevents you from dying of thirst. After who knows how long, you become so weak that even sitting is too great an effort for you. Lying on the ground at the end of your strength, you have a sudden vision, a sort of fantastical golem whose face reminds you with horror of the corpses you saw in the trenches of Verdun. It is your own nightmare, which has come to life to confront you. Draw a card.
I'm confused. They
63.
decided not to kill us, but they threw us into a basement, and the only reason we're survive is because of a very unlikely water source that they didn't know was down there. So they decided not to kill us, but then put us into a circumstance that would have actually killed us, as far as they know.
Yes, I guess so. They decided not to keep us alive because I guess they forgot about us and nobody came looking for us. I'm doing my best to So we've got here 2 options on card 63. It says if you have the vision card, if not, and I don't think we have a vision card. I'm presuming that this is not the vision card.
I assumed. Oh, maybe not. I thought it was.
Ooh. Okay, let me just quickly double check.
Because it said the nightmares come to life, so I assumed that, but maybe I could be wrong. Vision card.
I'm just checking to see if it refers to it anywhere as the vision card. It does. I think it just calls it card 4. Yeah, it just says draw card 4. I don't think it's actually called it a vision card anywhere. I presume there would be a card that... I think there's some kind of enlightenment. I think the vision card's some kind of enlightenment card we didn't get because we haven't had any enlightenment.
Okay, fine. No worries.
I'll have it... Yeah, because this is just basically checking an outcome. You do not confront the creature and let it engulf you. Your nightmares drag you back to the clutches of despair. Turn this card over.
I think it might be dead.
Yeah. We've unlocked an ending, folks. A thirst for the world. You emerge from this experience destroyed, body and spirit broken.
Oh.
Chris mutes himself.
Apologies. That's a Sainsbury's delivery arriving early. Apologies, but timing-wise, we might be right. Keep reading.
You emerge from this experience destroyed, body and spirit broken. You discover that you were found unconscious by the side of the road on the outskirts of a village. Subsequent events are lost in a fog of confused memories. You sense that you're being cared for, fed, carried. Once back in Europe, you learn that this war has recently ended. In a world free from horror, finally liberated from your inner demons, you discover the meaning and the spice of life. After this rebirth, your thirst for freedom, travel, and discovery seems greatly increased, if not insatiable. You begin a career as a globe-trotting reporter. You travel to meet many people and cultures, and your articles never cease to defend humanism and search for peace, which ultimately brings you closer than ever to the philosophy of Alexandra David-Neel and the mythic values taught in Lhasa. Draw card 70.
How do we get out of the... What is happening?
So we didn't die. We went to some kind of nightmarish spiral, and they dumped us. I think our captors dumped us near a village where we were discovered and somehow nursed back to health. Oh my gosh. This is actually a good ending. It seems that's pretty. I mean, okay. Congratulations, you've completed your adventure. There are 5 different outcomes. Make a note of each ending below. Replay to discover different choices and discover all the outcomes. Note, if you have any cards displaying a key or a padlock in the course of your adventure, you have released new gaming options for your adventure. Turn card 70 over.
So, Mike, if you hang on, I'm going to go off camera for a few minutes while I help deal with this delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Since and you can start giving your thoughts, and I'll jump back in a few minutes. If that's okay.
Yeah, sure thing.
Good timing in that sense. Be right back, guys.
All right. So Hager says, "Good Lord, that story was nonsensical." And Eddie says, "What adventure does being stuck in a hotel count?" Um, no, look, we got on a plane, we flew to Tibet, we took in the sights of the temple, and we got malaria, and we faced off against a tiger, and then we negotiated with Chinese warlords. So there was adventure. So there. I'm pretty sure that Chris's final thoughts here are going to be pretty negative. I'm also not like, I mean, on the thing is, I'm somewhat forgiving of this because I'll probably be somewhat more forgiving of this than I ought to be because it's short. It's short and it's cheap, which means that it's, you know, it's not that. I mean, although to be fair, it did take us like an hour and a half, which is, but that's because I'm reading everything aloud and we're making a show. You know, you probably could get through the one ending in about 45 minutes, which is what BGG promises. And yeah, it started off really strong, Haggers. I liked it at the start. It definitely deteriorated. Even the quality of writing seemed to deteriorate over time. There was some really odd jumps in time. It's obvious that they were trying to stitch the story on the cards together, and they didn't really seem to like gel well. You know, like we completely got confused when it was just like, help the woman across the icy water. You're not sure if you made it across, and then, you know, immediately later on, it's just like, sometime after that, then, you know, like it built up the peril and then never resolved the peril, which is pretty unsatisfying. And yeah, I mean, I think that I don't mind that the sort of the outcome in this particular ending was that the fact that we never found the explorer, but we sort of found something else through our experiences, and I liked the sort of the events that did take place, you know, like the actual story events, but it didn't seem to really pay off well. It didn't really seem to like sort of I mean, it seemed I mean, I like the idea that there's not necessarily like you know, sort of like a straight up. The thing is, it's like, how much of a game is this, right? Because it's kind of like, you know, Chris was saying, like, we don't have any information. You know, even when we picked the boat and it was the wrong boat, you know, we're like, we don't have enough information to make a smart choice here, you know? And I feel like if the game is setting itself up to be more of a sort of like, make some random decisions and find out what happens, that's fine, but it wasn't clear that it was doing that. Whereas, you know, if it presented itself as much more of a game than it turned out to be. And like, if we're just going on a sort of a narrative choose your own adventure ROM, that's fine, but it needs to be abundantly clear that's what it is. And by even introducing mechanisms early on, it was pretty much saying this is a game, you should be looking for clues and making smart choices, and there was none of that. And now Chris is back. Let me bring him in. There we go. Hey, Chris.
Hey, did I miss anything? Apart from it was just saying this is one of 5 endings. Play again to find other endings. That was it, was it?
Yeah, pretty much. I actually didn't read the rest of the card, but basically the idea here is that we've unlocked one of the endings. We mark it down on the card here, which one we unlocked, and now we can sort of go back through, and some of the cards that we might have revealed during this playthrough will enable us to make more or different choices in the next playthrough.
I heard you saying it should highlight that it's more of a choose your own adventure game than a game. You know.
Yeah.
But I think more the problem is that as a choose your own adventure story, it's atrociously bad. so it's not even just that it's not what it claims to be. It's a really bad version of what it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was like, I mean, it was sort of, it wasn't narratively consistent, and it didn't pay anything off.
But why were we going anywhere? We never found any clue whatsoever. The only clue we ever found about where our quarry went, we followed and then ran into a storm and had to come back. And then upon coming back, the guy who had given us the clue said, "Oh, actually, you know what? I might have dreamt that anyway."
Well, the one thing that I'm thinking here is that it's historically based. It's based in the real world. I think this explorer was actually a real person. And real life is rarely narratively satisfying either. So in that one respect, it's accurate.
No. That's life doesn't make narrative sense. I will give you that. But it does. But it does make it. But there's a difference between the fact that life, is there's a great song in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, if anyone's ever seen that, where Josh Groban just randomly appears and starts singing a song about how the lyrics are like, life is a gradual series of revelations that occur over a period of time. Some things might happen that which seem connected, but there's not always a reason or rhyme. People aren't characters, their choices aren't what people aren't characters. They're complicated and their choices don't always make sense. It's very funny. And I completely agree with that. But it's not just that, it's that there are it asks to make a choice and then doesn't address that choice whatsoever.
Yeah, so it's like choose your own adventure, but in some instances your choice is irrelevant. Like the next text is, it's like if you're playing a choose your own adventure book and it's like turn to page 42 and the first line of page 42 is moving on you discover, the next thing that happens is this other thing, and you're like, well, what about the outcome of my choice then? And it's true, and that's wildly inaccurate because in real life choices also have consequences. Not all the time, but most of the time, And we need.
No, all choices have consequences. If you choose to walk across the room, it'll have the consequence of you being on the other side of the room.
Right. Yeah. So, but what I mean is, okay. So, to elaborate, sometimes you might not be aware of the consequences, or the consequences might not be what you expected. Or you might not personally observe the consequences. But, I think that a good example being our woman that very much confused us was that we decided to carry her over the icy water. And then, the great peril was built up as, maybe we won't even make it across. And then nothing came of it. We didn't even say you've successfully negotiated it. And I think it's partly a limitation of the mechanisms because it would have had to put another card in to resolve that because the bad choice was the backside of that card. And the good outcome, I think, which was proceed to the forest and encounter the tiger, could probably be met with multiple paths. So they couldn't resolve that card with that other card. So they needed another intermediary card to give you that narrative, which they didn't have for whatever reason.
The whole thing about we went back to the temple. We were never at the temple. It was so there's not that many branching paths in the story, and they somehow managed to stick one in that doesn't make sense. That's unbelievable. Who proofread this? Honestly.
Well, I wonder if some of these unlockable things change the outcome of what happens with our guide there. Rather than us getting sort of like store, but agree. Like it seems odd to put in 2 cards for the temple, and then we just wind up coming back to Colombo with no sort of discernible momentum of the story, forward movement of the story. And I think the other thing is that, Heinrich again, like the airplane guy, we're like, what happened to slipping past the guards and distracting them? I have a suspicion that card where you're getting into the plane with Heinrich getting into the biplane on the secret runway is probably achievable through multiple paths, which is why, hey, Skimble! Oh, who's a handsome boy. So it doesn't say on that card, you've successfully distracted the guards and evaded the hotel, because you might have arrived there by several other routes, or at least one other route. But unfortunately, it's meant that the whole thing seems a little disjointed. Oh,
Sorry.
Skimble noises. It does, but the whole thing seems a little disjointed. I like this in principle. I didn't like this execution of it, though.
No, it was not a good game.
I like the idea of a little like half hour, 45-minute narrative exploration, deck of cards, go through it multiple times, discover things, unlock additional cards for the next playthrough. That's all really appealing to me. But this one executed it poorly.
Yes, yeah, I definitely will not be checking out the others in the series, nor replaying this one.
No. If there is one that is incredibly good, let me know. Maybe I'll seek it out so that you don't have to. Although if you told me it was good, you already did. But for now, I think that's probably the... If... Heggers, if you're still interested in going back and finding out what that thing was, I've already forgotten what it was.
If you keep going.
That's right. What happens at the end of the malaria expedition? In fact, we could just go look at that now and save.
I reckon you get the military thing. Eddie, I have not seen the Beetlejuice musical. I actually didn't realize it was coming back. Is it coming back? Oh, got skimble butt.
Uh-oh, you're gonna get us kicked off of YouTube.
Be decent, Gimbal. Be decent. Come on.
I can't find the card that where we were like, let's follow him.
Oh, it wasn't that bad, Heggers. It wasn't. It was just you know, it was a poor example of its genre. But I didn't have a negative time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have fun anyway, don't we? Oh, I can't find the card now, unfortunately, where... how have I lost this card? Is it on the back of something? I don't know.
I'll definitely check it out if it comes to the West End, Eddie. And at some point, we'll make a trip to Broadway to pick up a few of the shows that haven't come across to us. So I'm sure I'll see it one day. I don't know any music from it, though. So I don't know if it's any good or not. I'd check it out.
Oh, here it is. I don't know why it's there. Okay, so continue the expedition. Draw card 20. Right, I think that was the one we had, though, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. So continue with William. Turn this card over. This is the last little bit we missed out here. The expedition becomes a fiasco. William and yourself fall ill with an aggravated type of malaria known as Plasmodium falciparum. Wandering across the forest, you return to Colombo like two zombies, seriously ill and completely exhausted. You are immediately placed in the town clinic. You are given an extreme course of quinine treatments, and it takes several weeks until you begin to regain your strength. Lose $2 and discard this card. Okay, so it's been pretty much a dead end that costs you money. And now we never need to look at this again. So,
wait, what happens if you can train the tiger? That's the only thing I care about.
You draw on your deepest inner resources to master the thumping of your heart and all the signs of fear. The tiger now watches your approach with a curiosity tinged with fear. You advance gently and without challenging him. You walk around the animal step by step. Once he is behind you, you maintain the same pace and leave the clearing safely and calmly. It is only a little further on that you risk looking behind you. The tiger has disappeared, but you are certain you can never come through this forest again. If his master permitted you to challenge him once, you know that the next attempt would be fatal. So, and then it says discard this card and replace it with 66. And card 66 says, you find a secret note that says the tiger was the philosopher.
Where is the philosopher?
What happened to her?
What is card 66? Like, is it? Do you get an item? Do you get to go to a new place?
It's a new place.
Okay, fine. Well, why does squaring up to a tiger reveal a new location?
Because you get to pass through the forest where the tiger lived.
Okay, fine.
But what is that location and why have we come here? I don't know. It's on the other side of the forest, Chris. Okay.
Yeah, why do we want to go there? None of this makes any sense.
Well, look, we landed in the plane and then we picked a direction and set off. Okay. And
That is how open world games work, I guess. Do you want to know this game makes me think of something kind of it makes me want to bring up a point about. Do you know when people say in either choose your adventure games or story driven video games or a game or board games or any of this stuff? Oh, there isn't really a choice, just an illusion of choice. I hate when people say that. I think that's a really, really foolish thing to say, because it doesn't matter if it's an illusion or not. You're still getting the experience of choice. As long as you only play, it's only when you replay the game and you see that the choices don't matter much that the illusion gets shattered. So on a first playthrough, which is the one that matters most anyway, the fact that as long as you're weighing up the decision and you're going, oh, should I help him? Oh no, or should I be selfish? As long as you're having that experience of making the choice, then you've had the experience. So the whole it's not a choice, illusion of choice, that's a dumb thing to say. Stop saying that. However, this game is not, it's not even that there's an illusion of choice instead of choice. You actively see very soon afterwards that your choice didn't matter.
well, the choices mattered, Chris, because they brought us to the next card that we're at.
No, multiple choices didn't matter at all.
Yes, I mean...
And we immediately found out.
Well, there were a lot of choices that were like, you go back and lose an extra card or something. I mean, I'm sort of like, I like this concept that if you went bankrupt early on and you flipped the money card over, and on the back, I mean, actually, I'm going to check it now. No, okay, it's just a game over. That's miserable. I thought it was going to say something on the back of the money card. It just says your finances are exhausted, your journey's over, end of the game. And I was really hoping it would say something like you become destitute, and then something else happens, like your journey's now railroaded down another path. I thought that would actually be kind of interesting. That would be a little unexpected. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. So it didn't even do that right. Yep. There's some neat ideas in here, but it's executed very poorly.
Yeah, but the good ideas aren't even original ideas anyway.
No, but that's fine if the execution is good. Which it's not. The one thing I would say, the only thing I would say is I thought that the art on the cards that have art is quite nice. Like it's reasonably well done. The little pictures and stuff, quite evocative. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
But that's about all the praise I got for it, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Not recommended.
Nope, this is not on the Ready Steady Play recommends list, which is a very short list because we've just invented it. And with that, I think we're going to wrap up the stream, everybody. But thank you so much for coming and hanging out, and I hope you've enjoyed this, despite the fact that we weren't super hot in the game. But we did get to discover it together, and for what it's worth, you don't have to read a rule book. The game definitely does guide you through it. And who knows, maybe one of the other two boxes is better. I'm not going to play them to find out unless someone insists upon it. So, that means someone else is going to have to play it, let me know. But I hope you all have a wonderful evening. We'll be back for more content in the future. So, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. And in the meantime, you can always watch many of the other videos that we've uploaded over the years.
And listen to Difter for further advice.
And also, please take a word from my friend Difter here. And that's it for now. Let's say bye-bye and roll the credits.
Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.